spend an entire class just to teach you how to pronounce the past tense. It's not today. Today I'm going to teach you how to use the verbs in the simple past. But I promise you that maybe tomorrow I will show you how to pronounce. And if you learn how to pronounce, your English will be much better. You're not going to say, for example, I like it. This is terrible English. In this case, we should say liked, like stopped, asked, okay? But this is for another class. Today, we are going to focus in learning how to use this, okay? So, if the verb ends in E, simply add D. If the verb ends in Y preceded by a consonant, you drop the Y and add IED. If the verb ends in Y, but it's preceded by a vowel, simply add ED. And all the other verbs, you add ED. Now, let's talk about some exceptions, special notes. Look here, please. Oh, if a regular verb ends in a single vowel, in a single consonant, except X, okay, you are supposed to double the final consonant before you add the ED. For example, the three examples here, the verb to beg, the verb hop, the verb pin, and the verb pen. All of them end in consonant, vowel, and final consonant. Then before adding the ED, you are supposed to double the last consonant, like bagged, clapped, fanned, okay? And all of them. Now, don't confuse the verb like hop with hope. Hop, I need to double the P, hopped. And hope is another verb that ends in E, so I only add the D. Like file, filed, and fill is filled, okay? Now, another interesting point to observe is if you have a regular verb with two or more syllables, if the verb ends in L, letter L or R, and the last syllable, not the first, the last syllable is stressed, you also need to double the L or the R. For example, compel, compel. The past tense is compelled. Control, controlled. Like prefer, prefer. You see, the stress is in the fur. So I double the R and I say preferred. If the verb has two or more syllables, okay, but the first syllable is distressed, not the second, there is no need to double, like cancel. The first syllable is stressed, can. So the past tense is canceled. Honor, honored. Suffer, suffered. Travel, traveled. And there is a very important note. The British people in England, maybe Malta, they don't follow this rule. This is American English. There they double, like traveled. It's possible to see it with double L. Cancelled. It's possible to see it with double L. All right? But this is British English, not American English. And as I have already told you, if it ends in Y with a vowel, you just change it to IED, like apply, applied, cry, cried, okay? Annoy also ends in Y down here, annoy. But before the Y, I have a vowel, not a consonant. So the past tense is annoyed, okay? The X is never double, like box, boxed, fax, faxed, mix, mixed, okay? don't worry about how to pronounce the past tense. I told you we are going to discuss this in further details. You see, the pronunciation of the ending ed is very important. We'll talk about it tomorrow, not today. Okay? So, again, when do we use? We use the simple past to talk about finished actions, states, habits in the past when we have a finished time word. For example, yesterday, last week at 2 o'clock, in 2003, when I was a child, when I was on vacation. So usually if you simply say, oh, I went to the movies, you can expect the other person immediately to say, really, when? Because your sentence is not complete. You should have said, I went to the movies yesterday. And then the person could ask you, really? What did you watch? We spent a lot of time in the USA in 2005. You see, I read The Little Prince when I was a child. That was a long time ago, but it's the definite expression, when I was a child, when I was on vacation. I met Mary at John's party last year. All of them, as you can see, have a time expression at the end. So it's an action that happened at some definite time in the past, okay? Any question about this? Please use the chat box to ask me any question. You have 2 minutes to ask me any question about this use of the simple past. Come on, time is money. And since we have to stay home, we have to do something. Eric, okay, no questions, no questions. No question. Oh, okay. So far, so good. Okay, so it's okay. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, everyone, for giving me the reply. Yes, let's go on then. Sometimes you want to talk about a historical thing that you have no clue about when it happened. For example, I know that Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. I really don't know when. I even know where the Mona Lisa is on display, but I don't know when he painted. But what is the connection between the painting and today? No connection. It's a historical thing. So we simply say, Leonardo painted the Mona Lisa. Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. The Vikings invaded Britain, okay? And if it's important for you to know the time, ask Google. Google knows probably a lot more than I do, okay? But it's a historical thing. And in all of them, most of the people that we mentioned are not alive anymore. They are already dead. So the connection with the present is over. So we use the past to talk about it. That was number 2 here, okay? We also use, that's number 3 now. Any question about number 2 or no? Can I go to the next? Okay, no problem so far. Can I go to the next, guys? Okay, sure, okay, okay. All right, if you have any question, please don't be shy. We are here to learn. We are here to stay home and stay safe and sound. So any question, don't hesitate to ask me, okay? So number 3, if you look here, we also use the simple past, okay, to talk about states, habits that have been introduced with another tense called present perfect or another tense. This is usually when we are giving details of something. For example, I've hurt my leg. I use the present perfect because I hurt my leg and I still have a problem in the leg. The present connection is the pain, is the soreness that I have in my leg. So I've hurt my leg. And now I want to tell you how that happened. Then I use the simple past. For instance, I fell off a ladder when I was painting my bedroom. Okay? That's it. I've hurt my leg, present perfect. I fell off a ladder when I was painting my bedroom. I've been on holiday. I've been on holiday. It's different of I was on holiday last week. I've been on holiday means that you are in the middle of your holiday. Your holiday is not over yet, okay? So I've been on holiday. I went to Spain and Portugal so far. I was planning to go to, let's say, Italy, but the situation is not very good now. So I think I'll stop here, okay? Any problem about these or no? Can I just go to the last use? The last part I didn't understand. Thank you very much. Okay, let me try to explain again. The number 3, what we are trying to do here is something happened in the past and it is still connected with this present time. For example, I've lost my keys. When I use this in the present perfect, which we are going to study later, it means that at the moment, I don't have my keys. So I cannot go out of my room. I'm locked in because I've lost my keys. So here, I've hurt my leg. The accident with my leg happened in the past, but the consequence of this accident is still present today. My leg is very painful. I cannot move it, okay? And if I want to give you more details about this accident, I will give you in the past. You see, I've hurt my leg. I fell off a ladder because... I'm sorry? Okay. I've hurt my leg. I fell off a ladder. You see, this was a one-time thing. Pew! I fell off. Okay? And that, the fall has no connection with the present. All right? You got it now? I'm glad you did. If you don't, I'm here to explain again. Okay? So I'll go to the next one. Sometimes I want to tell you a story about something that happened to me or to somebody that I'm familiar with. For instance, last Saturday. So I can say last Saturday, I was not under the quarantine. So I went out with my friends. We went to a bar and everybody was sitting there having a beer, laughing, talking. We also sat down, we had a pizza. You see, I'm giving you a series of events that happened in the past, and I can use the simple past, like he went to a cafe, people were chatting and music was playing. He sat down and ordered a cup of coffee or a coffee. You see, a coffee is not grammatically correct, as we saw yesterday, but it's like in Brazil, it's very commonly used. Okay, the correct here would be he ordered some coffee or he ordered a cup of coffee. But if you listen, he ordered coffee, a coffee, it's okay. You just pretend you understand. Well, as I said you, there are 2 types of verbs. The regular ones that form the past tense by adding D, ED, or IED. Piece of cake, no problem, very easy. A walk in the park, okay? But there also another form of verb is called irregular verbs. Well, the irregular verbs, as the name says, they are different. There is no magic formula to memorize them. What I tried to do is I tried to compile the 50 most common irregular verbs, probably the ones that you use on a daily basis, and I wrote them here. So far, you only need to worry about the base form, like say, make, go, take, and the past tense. Forget about the third column, the past participle. We'll need that later, not now, okay? So the verb to make, the past tense is made. That's why when you look at your mobile or when you look at most of the things you have, you see there, made in China. So please wash it before touching. It's dangerous. But made is the past tense of make. Past tense of go is went. So I go to the movies every week. We saw this is the simple present. I go the movies every week. Last Saturday passed. I went to the movies. Okay? So here you have the past tense of the irregular verbs. And I tried to put a list. I'm not going to go over. Probably you can study them, see if you recognize all of them. Okay? So I don't need to read all of them, or we are going to waste our time here. I prefer to do other things with you. But these are the 5 most common verbs in English. Oops, not again. Come on. Stop moving. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Here. This is important. Pay attention here. The same thing we did yesterday with the present we are doing today. This is the word order of sentences in the past. You see, if you have an affirmative sentence, if you want to write an affirmative sentence in the past, you always need, always, without exception, the subject. It's not like Portuguese that you can say fui. When you say fui, everybody understands that you're saying I went. But in English, as you can see here, went is I went, you went, he went, she went, it went, we went, they went. It's the same. So that's why it is essential to use the subject in front. Don't simply start a sentence saying, went good. I have no idea what you're saying, okay? Or went out. Who? You? So say it. I went out, okay? The same way you ask questions in the present by using do, like, you like samba. That's an affirmative statement. If I want to ask a question in the present, we saw yesterday that is very simple. Just need to say, do you like samba? By placing do, which is a magic word that has no translation into Portuguese, it only indicates that you have a question in the present. Do you like samba? That indicates a question in the present. Does. It's not as, does. It's does. Indicates a question in the present to a third person, he, she, and it. The same way, if I look at you and I say, did you? At the same time, your brain must think it's a question in the past. So if you simply say, yes, I did, or no, I didn't, you have to remember it's past. Okay? So did you work? Did you go to work? Did you go to school yesterday? No, I didn't. Okay? Did you buy anything online today? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. And of course, if you want to ask more complex sentences with question words like where, when, is the same order. When did you buy that? Where did you go last night? Okay? It's the same. No difference. We saw this yesterday. Okay? So, observe here. Complements in most sentences with the simple past is a time expression, like the ones below. So remember, when you say, I went to the movies, I'm really expecting you to say when. So you can say yesterday, last night, last month, last year, last Monday, last January. or many other expressions using last, okay? Last indicates past tense. So last week, last month, last year. Or I can also use the word ago, like 2 weeks ago, a few days ago, 25 years ago, or any time expression like 100 years ago. But ago indicates a definite time. Or I can simply give the date, like in 1960, in 1998, in 2010. So I use the preposition in plus the time. Or if you want a more elaborate sentence, you can say, when I was on vacation, when I was at college, when I was in Malta, when I was studying engineering, okay? Any problem about this? 2 minutes to ask questions, please. If you have any question, ask me now before we go on. Questions or everything was easy today? Okay, no question. Come on. There are so many people in this room, but there are only 3 or 4 replying. Everybody understood? Come on, don't be shy. Just tell me. Okay? No problem. Can I go on? Okay. Perfect. No problem. Excellent. Okay, so let's go on. Thank you. Let's go on. Okay, so let's do some exercise and see if you really understood. So I have here, for example, they went to the movies last Saturday. Is there anyone there that can give me what's the question form for this sentence? Can you write me the answer, the interrogative form for this sentence number 1? Number 1. Come on. Let's see who is the first to give me the right answer for the interrogative form. Come on. Excellent. Did they go, okay, to the movies, okay? To the movies last Saturday. Perfect. Remember, once you place did in front, it is already an indication that the question is in the past. So you don't need to use the verb in the past. You say, did they go? Did they go to the movies last Saturday? What about the negative? What would be the negative of this? Come on, there are many people. I want to hear answers from other people. Come on. What's the negative? They didn't. Any verb. They didn't went or they didn't go. Very good. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. They didn't go to. They didn't go to. That's it. Oh, here, there is a, they didn't went. Oops, no. After you use didn't, you have to say go. They didn't go to the movies. All right? Didn't already indicates that the verb is in the past, so there is no need. It's sort of redundant to say didn't went. It's didn't go. Okay? All right. Good. How about number 2? She was an awesome painter. How about this? It's in the past too. Yes, you don't use did and went. When you use did, you have to use go. Thank you for asking. Okay? Didn't go. Did you go? She was an awesome painter. What's the question? It's in the past. Okay, there is a good girl here. Was she an awesome painter? Okay, was is the past tense of the verb to be. Is, she was. So in this case, it is not necessary to use did. We simply invert the position of the verb to be as already explained. She was an awesome painter. Was she an awesome painter? And the negative. What's the negative? No. You see, there is a problem here. I saw an answer here which is not good. Did she is? No, it's not. The negative is perfect. Thank you for giving me the negative. She wasn't, okay? She wasn't an awesome painter. But somebody wrote here, did she is an awesome painter? Is it possible? No, it's not possible to use did with the verb to be. When you have verb to be, you use the verb to be. Was she? She wasn't. You don't say she didn't is or she didn't was. Okay? Pay attention. Verb to be never asks for another auxiliary verb. It's always verb to be. So simply place it in front or add a negative to it. Okay? No problem? Can I go on? No problem at all. You're here to learn. Don't worry if you make a mistake. I want you to participate. Okay? So, I have here a few more interesting ones. Now, let's see if you can ask questions. You need to remember what we talked about yesterday. If you were not here, okay, I can talk again. But ask questions using who, what, where, what time, or when is the same, why, how long, or any other question word that you want. The answers are underlined, like Susan worked as a teacher at that school. I want you to ask me a question whose answer is Susan. I want to discover the name of the person that worked as a teacher at that school. What is the question? Please, right there. What is the correct question? Anna already answered the other one. Okay, where did? Okay, but try to write everything, not just the beginning, because if you only write the beginning, you might make a mistake at the verb. Okay? I'm still waiting for the first one. Who did the work? Who did the work? So far, I'm still explaining. Okay, could you explain this again, please? Question word. Okay. I think there is a problem. I think we have a problem here. Now, as I told you yesterday, Susan is the subject of this sentence. Okay, like Susan worked. You see, it comes before the verb. So Susan is the subject. Every time the question is about the subject, it is not, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not necessary to use do or does in the present. And it's not necessary to use did in the past. So every time the question is about the subject, it's only necessary to substitute Susan by who and copy the rest. Like the correct answer here is who worked. Let me see if I can write here for you. It's who worked as a teacher at that school. This is the correct answer. Observe that it is not necessary to use do, does, or did. It only happens when the question is about the subject. If it's not a person, if it's an object, I do the same using what and copy the rest. Okay? it is not necessary to use any auxiliary verb. And since in the simple past, you use the same verb for all the forms, you don't need to make any alteration. Simply replace the subject by who and copy the rest. So clear this, no problem. Can you give me the second question? The answer is at that school. Somebody had already mentioned the beginning. Can you give me the complete question? At that school is the answer. Where did Susan work as a teacher? Thank you very much for sharing. That's the answer. Where did Susan work? Where did Susan work as a teacher? Excellent. That's it. Okay? No problem. Okay, let's try one more. How about number 5? Last one. Come on. Last one. Number 5. Can you give me the answer? First, I want to know about Linda. Linda, what's the question? Easy now. Come on. Come on. We have 1 minute to finish this. What's the question? Who wrote several bestseller books? What's the question? Come on, guys. Share. Don't be shy. Come on. Nobody knows? Okay. Who wrote several best books? Okay. Who wrote several bestseller books? Okay. Somebody wrote here, wrote it in the past. No, wrote is already past. And written. Written is the past participle. No. As I said, again, I replace Linda by who? Who? And I copy the rest. Oh, who wrote several best sellers books? That's it. Who wrote? There is no change to the verb. You simply substitute the verb by who and copy the rest. Okay? I had some very good answers. Thank you for sharing. How about the second one? Several bestseller books. What's the question here? Come on. We have less than a minute. Time is money. Run, run, run. Come on. Several bestseller books. Very good. We already got the answer. What did, oops, that's in the other line. What did Linda write? Very good. Oh, there are more exercises. I'm proud of you guys to be here. I want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight in the name of Descubra o Mundo. We are trying to do everything to keep you safe and sound at this difficult time. And I'm sure that together we can be stronger. So tomorrow, you will have the answers to all these questions, and I will continue teaching you something, of course, always a little bit more difficult. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for your presence here, and I want you to stay home. Continue like this. Don't take chances. Don't go outside. It's dangerous, okay? And please send us your feedback, okay? If you have any suggestion, give us. If you want to study any specific topic, tell me. I will prepare for you. I have been doing this for more than 30 years. I know what I'm doing. So just let me know what you need, and I'll be here to help you. Thank you very much again for sharing this, for being here. And again, stay home and stay safe. Okay? See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.